So yesterday we looked at how to graph inequalities when we were given a rule, and I went through some steps with you. You had to change it to y is equal to ax plus b form, and then you had to graph your line, see if it was dotted or solid, and then figure out which side you needed to shade on. So today we're going to do the exact opposite of what we were doing yesterday. Today we were given a graph, and we're going to find the rule of this inequality. So the first step to doing that is to find the equation of the boundary line. So that's just the line that makes up the edge of your inequality. And you already know how to do that because you're just finding the equation of a line. So in order to do so, you need to have 2 points. Okay. Here's one point that we could take off pretty easily. It's the point 0, 3. Here's another point here. It's the point 5, 10. So we're going to use those 2 points to find the equation of a line. Okay. It's simply going to be in the form y equals ax plus b. Okay, so this part is going to be exactly the same as what you would have done in grade 9. You're finding the equation of a line. So you have x1, y1, got x2, y2. So the first step, a equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Alright, so I got 10 minus 3 over 5 minus 0 equals 7 over 5. Okay. So now that I have my slope, I can go ahead and try and find my y-intercept. Sub in one of my points. I'm going to sub in the point 0, 3 in this case. So I've got y equals 7 over 5 x plus b. Yes, if you wanted to turn that fraction into a decimal, you could. So I put 3 equals 7 over 5 times 0 plus b. 7 over 5 times 0, that's just going to go away. And I'm going to get 3 equals b. You could have also looked at the fact that right here they gave you the y-intercept. That showed you where it crossed the y-axis. So had you just taken this 3 here and plugged it in right away, that would have been fine with me as well. So your final rule for your boundary line is y equals 7 over 5x plus 3. Okay, so that's going to be where we start with this thing right here. All right. That's the beginning of the equation for my inequality. It's not yet an inequality, it just describes the boundary line. Step 2, and really the last step, okay, I'm just going to make this stuff a little smaller, give me a little more room. Step 2 is going to be to figure out which symbol describes your inequality. Okay. So what I mean by that is it less than, is it greater than, is it less than or equal to, or is it greater than or equal to? Okay. This is actually pretty straightforward to do. You have your equation, and just instead of putting a symbol, I'm just going to leave a box there. 7 over 5x plus 3. And all I need to do is I got to figure out what goes in this box. Well, am I shaded on top of my line or am I shaded below my line? On top. So what symbol do you think it's going to be, guy? Just greater than or less than. Don't worry about the equal to part right now.
I think greater than.
I agree, greater than. Y has to be greater than because y is on top of our line. So we're definitely greater than.
But wouldn't it be equal to because it's a straight like a full line?
There we go. So that's the last step that I have to check and see. Now I got to look and say, is it going to be greater than or is it going to be greater than or equal to? Well, Sean got it perfect. It's a solid line. It's not a broken line that makes my graph. So it's greater than or equal to. And that's all there is to coming up with the equation of an inequality.
So basically everything we already knew except for just putting
The symbol in. Exactly. I always encourage you guys, once you've done it, to do a quick check. And I kind of talked about this quick check yesterday, but we didn't actually show it, so I'm just going to show it to you here. The quick check I showed you to do that was that unless 0, 0 is right on your line, it's an easy point to work with. So 0, 0, the origin right there. For this case, is 0, 0 part of my inequality? No, it's not. So if I was to plug 0, 0 into this rule that I came up with, I would expect it to not work. Right? I would expect it to be not true. So let's just check that out. 0 greater than or equal to 7 over 5 times 0 plus 3. So 7 over 5 times 0 goes away. That's why we use 0, 0. It makes the work really easy. Is 0 greater than or equal to 3? No. Good. That's what we wanted to find. 0 in our graph is not part of my inequality. Right? This point right here is not in the shaded area. 0 doesn't work. That's exactly what we were going for. So we just did a quick check. We know we got our symbol right. That's all there is to this. There's nothing more tricky about it. You find your equation of the line, decide whether it's shaded on top or bottom, and you go from there. Any questions?